Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'll bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in snowy, sleety, white death is here, Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, if you found the show, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 836 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, let's get into topics of today. Now, if you guys ever follow Joe Freakaborough on Instagram, he posted a very interesting picture I was very excited to see. It's a picture of him playing football. It says, "Coming soon, Joey B." I'm like, yeah, game one, coming back. I told you, Jeremy D. Told you. Now, subject we can discuss today. With AJ Green most likely not coming back, who should be the next Bengals captain? I had a couple good ideas, but one I think might be a good choice is Tyler Boyd. I don't know what you guys think. And Adam Pacmam Jones was arrested last night. And I'm bringing my boy Jeremy D.
What's up?
What up?
I tell you what, man. Pac-Man did a very, very good job this past year of staying away from the clubs and the bars. And
that's because they weren't open.
Exactly, my friend. We think alike. And the first week, whatever, that, they start to loosen restrictions, that kind of thing. Our boy is back in jail. I'm sure he's probably out by now. Knowing Pat.
Oh, yeah, he was on the Pat McAfee show today.
Okay.
Today. Yeah, he was on there, and he was explaining his side of the story and talking about he ate a couple chairs and stuff like that. So, there's always two sides to every
sure enough.
So,
But I just wanted to applaud him for going a year without any problems.
Exactly.
It might have been government related, but hey, great job to you. 1 year. Good job, Adam Pacmam Jones.
All right. Well, we got a special guest today, and I'll just go ahead and play this first, and then I'll bring him on. Who? And
hey, what's up, guys?
Josh, what's up, man?
What's up, Josh?
And admin of Who Day Nation. What's going on, brother?
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us.
You, man.
Yeah, good to be here.
So, what's your thoughts on replacing AJ Green as captain, or Pacmam Jones getting arrested, or JJ Watt coming to the Bengals, or
oh man,
what you got?
Well, which ones have you guys talked about yet?
We just started talking about Pacman, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
I saw somebody touch on it, and I think he just kind of has a drinking problem. Like, he's a really nice, really great guy overall, but like if he just like hits the bottle too much, he gets in these situations that he acts out and does stupid stuff.
Yep.
Drinking problem. It's plagued him his whole career. It's just it's just something that is, I guess you could say, in his nature, that it just sadly it comes out every now and again.
Because that's not how he is on an everyday basis.
Yeah, and it takes away all the good stuff that he's really done in his career with helping the communities, and it's kind of sad.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, Dennis here's got a comment. I'll bring this up here about AJ Green. I said, who was going to replace AJ Green as captain? And he said, call me crazy. You can't replace AJ Green, but the receivers you have may collectively didn't get your 65 touchdowns, this would be losing from AJ Green 65 touchdowns. And that actually was not the question of actually replacing AJ Green, is replacing him as captain. It actually was the question. And that's actually something you brought up on Who Dey Nation there, Josh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is what my suggestion was, Tyler Boyd becoming an offensive captain, but that's just byproduct of also the fact that we'll move on from AJ Green.
Right.
Which, like, the 65 touchdown comment, like, doesn't, like, resonate a lot with me because, like, you know, I love AJ and I appreciate everything he did for us, but, like, you can't, like look at guys' past stats and say, like, right, that's why you keep him around.
Well, I mean, all you got to do is look at the last 3 years. AJ has not done anything. Now, 2 years in a row, he was injured, but his past year he wasn't injured. And like I said, we can replace him with Michael Thomas, Boyd, or not Boyd, Tate. Tate. I mean, for what the production we got from AJ last year, we can replace him with a 5th or 6th round pick. And I'm not trying to talk bad about AJ. It's just a fact.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, even if you wanted to be the devil's advocate and be on AJ's defense, this past year he was coming back from injury. He's with a new quarterback with no training camp, and then he technically played a new position that he had not been playing as far as lining up at wide receiver. He was lining up differently than he had been his whole career. So you can make reasonable excuses that, like, maybe he still does have productive years left,
right?
But I just don't think they're in Cincy.
Well, I mean, me and Jeremy talked about this on the show. There were instances during the season where I'm texting Jeremy going, "That's the AJ Green of old," but I saw it very, very little. You know, there's so many times where it's just like, man, why can't you do that all the time? And it just wasn't there. Yeah. And it could be just because he might just be done. You know, it's just time for him to move on. Sometimes that happens with players. You know,
I still think he might be able to put it together somewhere, but, like,
me too. Yeah.
I just he's not a number one guy anymore. That's for sure. Like, no. But he can be a good guy in a cast of receivers. You know what I mean? Like,
right. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Dunlap trade. You know,
exactly.
You get, you know, Dunlap. It wasn't working in Cincinnati. He had a couple of good games with Seattle, then kind of faded off a little bit in the playoff game, that kind of thing. Who knows what he's going to do next year? But I can see AJ in a rotation somewhere, and I could even see him in our rotation somewhere if he wanted to stay and he wanted to come at the right price.
Yeah,
right.
But other than that, from what we've saw this last year, well, the last 3 years really, but injuries are injuries. But this last year, we got maybe 4 or 5 AJ Green plays this year.
If that. Yeah, I guess to get back to the question as far as who would be the next captain to replace AJ, I think we're all in agreement. It's pretty easy. It would be Tyler Boyd. I don't know who else, because I mean Mixon's already a captain. Mixon's already a captain. Joe freaking Burrow is already a captain. So I mean, I don't think T. Higgins. You're not gonna. It's got to be if you're picking from the wide receivers.
Yeah,
it's not. You're not gonna pick T. Higgins over Boyd. You're just not going to.
Not right now.
No, not right now for sure.
And it seems from an outside perspective that Boyd has pretty good, like, leadership influence in that locker room as well. Like, like, dude, the guys look up to him. So, and
I mean, moving forward, we got good leadership. I think especially on the offensive side. You got Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Boyd. Those 3 right there are going to be your 3 team leaders on the offensive side. The defensive side, you still got some good guys. You got Bates, Bell, maybe Josh Bynes. I don't know, but it'd be nice to get some more guys. I mean, that's where I come back to J.J. Watt. I wouldn't mind getting him because of the leadership and all that stuff. I know neither one of you actually agree with me on that. You both think he should probably just somewhere else.
With the J.J. Watt thing, I just don't see it in any way, like, realistic for either side. Like, for J.J.'s case, like, he wants to go somewhere where next year he can win a Super Bowl.
That's in Cincinnati, Josh. That's right here. We're going to win a Super Bowl next year.
Now that's within the realm of possibility, right? But
exactly. It is.
There's a lot of dominoes that have to fall. before that could occur.
Right.
So that's too unsure for JJ Watt, who has maybe 3 years left with how beat up he is. So
I've heard a lot of talk. Actually, he might try to go back to or might want to go to Green Bay and go play in Wisconsin instead of playing with his brothers. What I've heard more recently. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with Josh 100%. In JJ Watt's head, the Bengals aren't his go-to Super Bowl team. But at the end of the day, he's on the last, 3 years, most likely, of even his not even prime performance, but just a solid defensive pass rusher. And I just don't see Cincinnati being a place he wants to come to. I don't know if Cincinnati wants to pay him what he's going to want. And
what we'd have to pay him to bring him here.
Exactly. Right. And I just see too much talent out there. I see a draft out there full of really good defensive ends that we can get in the later rounds. I see some guys we can pick up in free agency. And when you got $40 million, Shaq Barrett, exactly. When you got $40 million in cap space without letting Gio go, Gino go, which could take it up and up and up. I just don't see a JJ Watt fitting the Bengals. I just don't. Even though Tyler Boyd put it out there today that he'd love to have JJ, whatever. I'm kind of with Josh on that one.
Yeah, and I have seen that somebody mentioned that maybe him and DJ Reader were really good friends from their time in Houston, but
right.
It like everything you said, it on both sides, I just don't think it's the right fit. I think he's looking at if you said 4 teams, it would be Green Bay, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and the Steelers. The brother situation. But
right,
TJ.
Even the Steelers, I don't even think really have a chance at it because I don't think he thinks they're close enough.
No, well, the thing is too is with the Squealer situation with Pouncey retiring. Now Ben is coming back saying, "Well, which, dude, honestly, Ben's not going to retire. That he gets talk all he wants. He is going to play until he can't play anymore, until they make him leave, in my opinion. But he's talking about he might not come back now because Pouncey retired. But here's the tweet that Boyd sent out. He said, "Bengals, bro, let's turn this up." So there you go. That's what Boyd said, and he was ready to go, fired up, trying to get JJ Watt there, but I don't, like I said, I put it on Houday Nation and stuff, which, by the way, thanks to Houday Nation, as always, for letting us live stream, and Ohio State Bucknuts, those two groups let us live stream on there, so I appreciate both those. But yeah, I don't really see JJ coming here, and I don't see him going to the Steelers because, like you said, for that same reason that he wants to win. I'm more leaning toward, I think he might go to the Packers because, one, he's from Wisconsin. 2, they got a legit chance to win. If they could add some freaking weapons to Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be really tough to beat.
Yeah, I think another wild card team that I saw a couple of recruitments come out of was the Bills, and I could see that making sense too a little bit.
Yeah.
They're right on the verge there, kind of like a blue collar city. I could see that working with him, but I think Stephon Diggs tweeted at him, and Andre Reed. So
Bill's is coming out strong. All right, Dennis says, "Hey, this is my opinion. If the Bengals draft Jamar Chase, he should be captain. I may be wrong for thinking about drafting Jamar Chase. Now, I don't think you're wrong for thinking about drafting him, but if you draft Jamar Chase, I don't see how you put him over captain over Tyler Boyd. Boyd's been there, and he's been the number one wide receiver for the last couple of years. So love you, Dennis, but I don't see Jamar Chase being captain over Tyler Boyd."
Yeah, it's just that doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I could see a situation where we took Jamar Chase at 5, but it was crazy enough last year. Joe Burrow earning a captain honor as a rookie, and he's a quarterback where he stands a chance of having far more influence. But a
Exactly.
wide receiver doesn't
Burrow has the ball in his hand every play.
Yeah, and so you're not communicating to the team as a large group as much as a quarterback is. Like, it's just not the same. Like,
yeah, you know what? And I don't know what you might think about this, but they've been talking about Tooney from New England, signing him.
That's my number one priority.
Yes, there you go.
Line. Yep.
And they've also been talking about Milano, linebacker out of Buffalo. What I wanted to ask you, Josh, was what do you think if we added Tooney, we take Milano, which will help kind of shore up the young linebacker core we have. Draft comes around. Do we take that offensive tackle? And I'm playing I'm completely playing devil's advocate here. I'm saying we're not going to take a tackle in free agency, which I think we will and we should.
We will. That's the worst case scenario is what you're saying. We don't sign one. What do we do? Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tooney and Milano. Do you still take Chase at 5 if Sewell's there or if Slater's there?
If Sewell's there, he's the auto take for me. Like that's just, but I just don't think he will be. But yeah.
What about Slater?
Slater, I'm not. I don't like him at 5. I think you got to trade back to take Slater.
Move back
more around like 8 or 9.
Well, I'll put it to you this way, and I've said this multiple times. If they don't fix or they don't go after a tackle or a guard in free agency, which I believe in my soul that they will, but if they don't, you got to take Sewell. You have to. What's up, Keithy? What's going on, brother?
Hey, man.
Hey, Keith.
I think you're right. From what I'm seeing, I don't think Sewell's going to be there. And I want to get you guys' take on this. I sent you, Jeff. I sent you a clip of this kid.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at it. I did see that though. I haven't had a chance to look at it.
He's been talking about him all day.
Not.
Well, here's one of the things I was playing amateur GM, and you'll like this probably, Jeremy, because I'm talking about an Ohio State kid. I didn't know Corey Linsley was a free agent.
Uh-huh.
To me, he's one of the best centers in the league. What do you guys think about trying to sign him?
Who did you say? I'm sorry. Who did you say? I was reading the comments. Who did you say?
Corey Linsley, Packers center.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
Put him at center, kick Trey Hopkins to the other guard, Tooney at the other guard. If you come to that 5 pick and it looks like Sewell's not going to be there.
Right.
And actually what I think you should do is trade down. I would trade down with Denver or Carolina. And I would take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
From Notre Dame, you're talking about?
Yeah, because that's where we've been gashed on defense for the last 3 or 4 years. We have nobody that can cover a tight end. And this kid, you can put him everywhere.
The Indianapolis Colts game. I remember that game. How many times does the tight end get right over the middle of the field and I'm yelling at Armadillo, what are you doing?
Well, Baltimore kills us with a tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, what do you think?
I mean, I like the idea of Linsley. If the price is right, I don't think you can really break the bank on a center. But I think if he wants to sign a deal that's I don't even know what the top centers get paid, but I wouldn't pay him double digits per year. That's just. I think you can spend that money elsewhere, like at the tackle position, the guard position. But on the flip side, though, I wanted to jump back with what Jeremy was saying about Matt Milano.
Yeah,
because I'd rather I'd rather lean towards the center than Milano, just because I even more so hate the idea of paying a linebacker $12, $13 million a season.
Especially when we got Wilson and we got Davis Gaither, who I think are going to step up this year. I was impressed with both of them, to be honest, and I think Logan Wilson really impressed me a lot when he was playing. Last couple of games he didn't play.
Yeah, and Bynes came on towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Bynes though came on like the last 2 games of the year. Where was he at all year?
I mean, coming from a 4-3 defense in Baltimore, he came to Cincinnati, which Lou was supposed to turn into a 3-4 defense.
Right.
And that's kind of rough on a linebacker when you're trying to figure out what the hell we're doing here, because we're playing 4-3 more than we are 3-4 pretty much the whole season. So I give Bynes a pass, and I think he kind of he stepped it up the last 2-3 games of last year, and I can just see I can see him growing and adding into our defense. Personally.
Yeah, I'm encouraged with what he did the last couple of games. That was awesome. I'm worried because he didn't do it until the end of the year. That's my Logan Wilson. When he played, like I said, he played, I think, really well for a rookie, for a rookie season. And I'm very excited to see him moving forward. Not that Bynes can't. I hope he does build on what he did at the end of the year. Where was he at the beginning of the year? That's just is that Armadillo or is that Bynes? Because I mean, there was a couple of times Bynes, he'd drive me nuts. He would be like Lawson. He would get to the quarterback or he'd make a play in the backfield and he couldn't tackle the guy. I just I can't remember what game it was. I got it in my head, but it's a sideline play. It's a running back. He beats his blocker. He gets to the running back, and the running back shakes him off, and he runs for another 10 yards. I'm like, it would have been like a 5-yard loss. I'm like, those are the things that we can't have happen. And the last 2 games of the year wasn't happening for Josh.
But the thing about that, Jeff, it's not just him. That's been a problem with that entire defense.
True.
For several years.
That's what I was going
to do. Yep. I will definitely give you that. So apparently we have a Jets fan on the live chat, and he's arguing with everybody. Welcome, Jets fan.
Hey.
He just tried to talk trash about how bad the Bengals are. I mean, I know the Jets have been awesome. They went to one Super Bowl and won. The Jets are better than the Bengals.
Definitely. The Jets are the talk of the town.
Oh yeah.
Getting rid of their quarterback. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, I mean they're so good they screwed up getting the number 1 pick overall.
we love you, Jets fan. We're kidding, buddy. We're kidding.
How many butt fumbles have you seen?
That's true.
I have seen a Mark Sanchez, and I have seen a Mark Sanchez, and but no, not too much to be excited.
But
as a Jets fan, come on, guys.
I just think it's funny. Jets fans coming out here talking trash about the Bengals. I'm like, you're picking 4 spots higher than us. I'm not sure what you're talking trash about, but okay. But
we love you guys anyway.
It's all love. It's all love, brother.
Yeah, and we've been to a Super Bowl since the Johnson administration.
Right, we've been to 2, 2 of them. So there you go. Delonte, she thinks we need to go after J.J. Watt. I think it's worth a phone call. Like I said, I've said that. But
Resign Lawson.
Yep. Dude, the guy I would love, which it killed me. I didn't realize this till Jeremy brought this up a couple weeks ago of how close we were to signing Shaq Lawson or Shaq.
Barrett.
Yeah, but now his price tag is much higher than it was then.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That, and we could have got him for 14 for 2 years.
Yeah.
And he had a shoulder injury. It's like whatever doctor said that should have been fired, because if we get him, which I honestly I don't think he'll give us time of day after that.
I think he's going to resign.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of them are going to resign, and a lot of other veterans like J.J. Watt are going to try to go there.
Mike Williams already said he's going to restructure his deal so they can bring back as many people as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. And they are in win now mode, and they know they got the GOAT, so they got a chance to win every year with him.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about this whole J.J. Watt thing? I feel like all of these it's me too sometimes, and then I have to realize, pull back, what's going on. But we remember J.J. Watt in his prime just devastating Andy Dalton, picking him off, running it into the end zone.
Why do you always got to bring up bad memories, Jeremy?
What? Nobody likes me, man. But this is what it is, and I truly believe this. As Bengal fans, we watched this, and it was just kind of like, what's going on here? This guy's taking over the game. He just intercepted Andy Dalton on a 4-yard pass. He just snags it out of the air like it's nothing and walks it into the end zone. And I think we've got a little bit of, J.J. Watt from 15 or whatever it was. I think it was 15. Action going on that, guys, he's not that player anymore. That's kind of
he's still better than a lot of what we got.
Yeah,
JJ,
he's an improvement.
What was that? What was that?
Go ahead, Josh.
Josh?
Oh, he's definitely an improvement from he makes that position group better, but I just don't think weighing everything out, like what you might have to pay him. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of money he gets, because I think he could go anywhere from like a veteran minimum to like taking $10 million a year somewhere. It can be a toss up, honestly.
Well, that's my fear with Lawson too, because I think Jeremy, you said there's like 8 teams or whatever, or is that Willie J3?
Two
are
Willie J's got 8 teams looking at him right now, so
that's actually my concern with her. Those two are our 2 biggest free agents. I think we need to sign. We need to sign Willie J3. We need to sign Lawson. My concern is that they'll have other teams go after him and they'll up the price. Now the Bengals have a lot of money under the salary cap, but we can't be stupid with our money. We got to make sure that we sign these guys, but also have money left over to sign our draft picks and hopefully get some offensive linemen and some defensive players to get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, but we also didn't get Trey Waynes to be opposite of LaShawn Sims. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
We're gonna have to either sign Willie J or sign a solid cornerback, because we definitely don't want to go through another year of one decent cornerback in WJ3 and LaShawn Sims on the other side, and whether it be Wayne and LaShawn Sims or WJ, we wanted 2 solid cornerbacks, and it didn't work out that way. We lost our quarterback this year. Everybody knows their injury history, no excuses, whatever. But man, I just don't want to see 2 cornerbacks, one of them all-pro and the other one a LaShawn Sims.
Well, I think that's, to me, that it might help a little bit if you do trade down and get extra picks, because then you've got an extra pick and you could go for a corner.
Well, that's the thing. They could easily do that. I would be fine with them doing that as long as they get that tackle and get that guard in free agency. Then yes, I would trade back and hopefully get somebody's second round picks. They have 2 of them, and maybe instead of picking 5th, you're picking 6th or 7th or 8th, and you can still. I mean, there's gonna be 5 guys that the Bengals that can help the Bengals. I think they've all talked about the Bengals drafted: Sewell, Slater, Pitts, Chase, and Smith. All 5 of those guys, and as many quarterbacks as I think are going to be drafted. I think there's a chance if you go down to 6 or 7 or even 8, there's a chance one of those guys will be there, and plus you could add another second round pick with it. But the only way I would do that is you got to sign, a left tackle and a guard in the offseason.
Oh, definitely.
Well, and another thing that's going to help in this draft is it looks like there's going to be a run on QBs and wide receivers. And there's some sleepers in this draft. I tell you, kid, of course, I'm like you with UK. Drake Jackson, late round center. I think he's going to be a hell of a pro. You could probably get him 5th, maybe 4th, 5th round. And, that's why I like the idea of trading down. If you don't have Sewell there, then, I mean, even that's a crapshoot. But if he's probably the surest thing in this draft. And if he's not there, you might as well go for extra pick.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Josh, can you hang out some more, or you got to get going? I know you said you only got like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm good right now, but
okay.
I really think that I mostly lean that if Sewell's not there, like we should trade back a few picks. Like I think like almost any other option is a touch of a reach. But I can get comfortable with Chase or even Pitts. But like I would feel better about taking them at like 7 to 9 than I would at 5.
Well, Josh, before you go, can I ask you one question? Since we have, the space that we're going to have, and right now we still have under contract Gino, Giovanni Bernard. If we take care of that line completely, tackles, an extra guard, we'll have Hopkins coming back. God forbid, I hope it don't happen, but Billy Price have to start a couple games if Burrow's back first.
Bobby Hart.
We got to get rid of Bobby Hart.
And Bobby, backup maybe.
Backup. I want Bobby Hart as backup, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But if you feel like we have solidified the line for Joe Burrow, you would feel okay with his chemistry and us not being able to watch him actually do hardly anything, maybe other than a pro day. You would rather have Chase than Devontae Smith as a Cincinnati.
Absolutely. First, if you just like do the lazy argument and break down the numbers,
exactly.
Chase actually averages like more yards per catch. He is also, I think, about 30 pounds larger than Devontae Smith is.
Exactly.
I don't like the frail small guys just don't seem to work out more often than you have the guys that hit and they're smaller, but often those guys struggle. It just doesn't work. You can't be 175 pounds really that often in the NFL.
That's right.
I don't know, and of course, just the built-in chemistry. He played with Joe.
Yeah. That right there to me is the number one reason I would take him over Smith. That chemistry was unbelievable that they had at LSU.
Yeah, and I just think really when you actually break it down, other than if you just take the Heisman Trophy and just put it aside, like talk about the player comparison, I think Chase is the better pro choice.
Cool. All right, man. Cool deal.
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all.
Hey, bro.
Lilo says they should get Sean Wade for cornerback.
Not outside. Not the way he played outside this year. No. He is an inside slot corner. I'll tell you right now, you take him and you put him on the outside, he's going to watch the Alabama game. Don't talk to me about Clemson. Watch the Alabama game. Look what Devontae Smith did to that boy. I mean, his ass is still lit up. It ain't worth it. We don't want it. No, don't need it.
So Jeremy, what you're saying, he's the modern day version of Third and Billups. After Billups had that a couple big seasons, me and my best friend, we would watch Bengal games, and whenever it was third and long, we go, it's Third and Billups.
Yep, exactly. There you go. I mean, no way.
Yeah, I was just waiting to put that one up there for Jeremy. The Ohio State Buckeye fan.
When he played in his right spot, the guy can be a shutdown as a slot corner. Other than that, no. And I'm not going to get in trouble over the airwaves here. So that's all I got to say about it.
And by the way, I agree with Josh on Devontae Smith. I think the fact that he played at Alabama, the fact he had a huge national championship game, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's not a big kid.
No, he's not.
And, he's not going to be playing for a team that basically is dominant over the other teams in every position, like at Alabama.
And like I've said on here 100 times, we can sit here and talk horrible about Devontae Smith, and next year he goes to a team and lights the freaking league up. And
it's all about fit.
It is what
Jerry
it is.
Rice. They said the same thing about Jerry Rice. Too small, too slow.
Yeah, all about fit.
Well, you also got to look at that for Smith. They had specific packages for him that for some reason nobody could stop him. Because I think Alabama is faster than they're faster than Ohio State. Sorry, Jeremy, but they were. And that's not going.
They also have two other receivers that are going to be in the top 2 rounds.
Yeah, but my point is he's not going to be faster than everybody else in the NFL. That's going to be where the difference is going to be with Devontae Smith. See how he translates. That's where you got to be a great route runner and get out of your breaks fast. And which I'm not saying he doesn't. He did. I'm just saying he outran a lot of people too.
Well, the perfect example of that was Peter Warrick. Peter Warrick was a great kick returner when he was at Florida State because he could do that move where you go one way, you circle back, and you outrun everybody. He learned real quick when he got in the pros. You don't outrun guys in the pros.
Could be. Could be. But I wanted to ask Josh that question. And Josh, I know, dude, you're probably wanting to get out of here, man.
Oh, no worries.
And, dude, it's a thrill to have you on. I'll let Jeff take over from here. But, dude, I'll be seeing you on the Who Dey Nation, my friend.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for coming on the show, Josh. And as always, thanks for letting us live stream on Who Dey Nation. I appreciate it. And all the other help you've given me the last couple of weeks too.
Nah, no problem at all. This has been a good time. I'll definitely be back on some other time. We can talk some more Bengals.
Sounds good, brother.
It's been great. Talk to you guys.
All right, man.
Hey,
take it easy,
too, brother.
Who Dey? Who Dey?
Who Dey?
All right, Keith, it's just you, buddy. On to Keithy. Hey, I got a question.
I was going. Okay, go ahead, and then I was going to add what CBS had to say about the Bengals. You go ahead, Jeff.
You do that first. We'll keep Bengal talk going. Go ahead, because I got not Bengal talk. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to let you know. CBS put out on their, teams in 2021 said even though the Bengals won 6 Taylor, but boy oh boy, will Burrow return under center. Give them an adrenaline boost. For the second straight offseason, the Bengals also have a ton of money to play with, meaning they can continue to surround their young quarterback with talent. Maybe it's help up front, please. Maybe it's another weapon to fill out an already promising wide receiver core. Either way, if Burrow can stay upright, since he should easily be bound for an improvement well over 4-11-1, it helps that rivals like the Steelers are regressing as they battle age, cap issues, and quarterback questions. I can see the Bengals going a long way.
Yeah, baby. I mean, like I said, it's pretty simple. We get a left tackle, we get a guard, we get Hopkins back at center. Our offensive line is, I think, set, and it's going to be pretty good, and it's going to give Joe Burrow time to actually do more than a 3-step drop. He'll actually be able to do a 5-step drop, maybe throw some deep balls.
Yeah, like Mahomes. Like, Mahomes don't just run around and throw these good passes because he's got a good offensive line. He can choose his holes. He
did, except for the Super Bowl.
well, Lord have mercy.
With tackles.
Two tackles out. But you know what? I don't want to hear that crap from Kansas City because we ain't had tackles in 2 damn years.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? Here's what I think. If free agency and the draft went the way I wanted it to go, you pick up 2 top O-linemen, free agent. Then, even if you miss out on Sewell, I'm a big believer in you take the best guy available. And Jeremy, you hit the nail on the head. You got Joe Burrow. Probably the closest comparison is Mahomes. Build that same team. So what's that mean? If Kyle Pitts is there, you take Kyle Pitts. If you've already addressed offensive line, you take Kyle Pitts. Could you imagine Burrow with that kind of tight end?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was going to be my next question. Would you play him at tight end? Do you think me and Jeremy are kind of –
I'd move him all over.
That you could do that. You could play him at – he could be a big enough weapon. You can play him at tight end, at wide out. You can move him all over the place. So that could be even a bigger weapon for Joe Burrow than Jamar Chase. If you look at that way, the places you can move him around.
True.
That's why I like him more than Chase. Plus, the fact that Chase opted out. I don't like that. But to me, the dream scenario is you set your offensive line through free agency, you trade down and actually end up getting Pitts and Jeremiah Wusu Koromoa. Now you've addressed your offensive line, another weapon for Burrow, and the biggest need on your defense right now, other than a pass rush.
Yeah.
Somebody who can cover a tight end and rush the pass rush.
Right. And that's the thing I always got to try to feel like I want to remind Bengals fans is, yes, we all keep banging the drum for the offensive line. But we got to fix that defensive line too, because you gotta do both. My wife's a Buccaneers fan, but if you look at the Super Bowl, the reason they won that Super Bowl, they won at the line. Offense, defense, they won the line. And 90% of the time in football, if you can dominate both sides of the ball at the line, you're going to win the game. I don't care what weapons you got. You can have the greatest show on turf or whatever they used to call it back in the day. And if you don't have if you don't have an offensive line, you're not, or a defensive line, you're going to struggle. But if you have both, 90% of the time, you're going to win the game.
Well, you guys can believe this or not, but one of my best friends is a Steeler fan. And back when they played the Packers and the Packers beat them in the Super Bowl, I called the game within a touchdown. Pittsburgh got a late touchdown, or I would have had the score right.
Right.
And I told him, I said, here's why the Packers can beat Pittsburgh. They can rush the passer, but here's what the difference is. Roethlisberger's the size of a car. The Packers didn't need 2 or 3 guys to get him to the ground. One guy could get him to the ground. And I told him, I said, those near misses during the season that he turned into big plays, those are going to be sacks.
Right.
Sure.
And that's the thing, man. Well, we've said it a million times. You dominate offensive and defensive line. You don't have to pay $20 million a year to your skill people on either side of the ball.
Right.
Exactly. They don't have to be that good.
I've said that before. I'm like, it's a team game. If you dominate at the lines, that makes everybody else's job easier. It makes your cornerback's job easier. It makes your running back job easier to run through holes. The quarterback has time to throw the ball. Wide receivers can get open.
Right.
It helps everything. That's the beginning. It should be the beginning and the end of your team. You got to start building that part first. And people say, well, the Bengals never do that. In the Bengals' defense, as far as the offensive line goes, they have tried. Now, they screwed up in 15 and let these guys go they should have let go. We've all documented that. But they've been trying to draft guys to replace them, and they've failed miserably. So that's why I go back to my point where Sewell is the quote-unquote best lineman in the draft. But like you say, he opted out, and that kind of worries me too because I don't know. We haven't played football in a year. So you don't know what you're going to get, to be honest. So I would rather get a proven guy like Morton, Tooney, Trent Williams, somebody like that. There's enough free agent linemen out there, tackles and guards. You get 2 of them, then you don't have to take that tackle in the first round. You can take the best player available, or like we've all said, they can trade down, get more picks, and take the best player available there.
Well, and if you trade down, you've still got the possibility of building depth and finding a guy in the draft because you're going to get extra picks.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's guys that are Pro Bowl players throughout the NFL that are not first-round picks. So, I mean, you can find guys second, third round, whatever, and as long as you do your due diligence, you can find them.
And you can look at Aboihi. He was a guaranteed lockdown offensive tackle. Didn't work out. So that's why I believe
Andre Smith,
another lockdown, had a couple what you can call decent years. But you know what? If I'm sitting here with the Bengals cap, not only can we fix our offensive line in free agency, we can still go out and get one pass rusher, and then we can add more pass rushers later in the draft. But I say that to get back to this. If it were down to Pitts or Chase, I would have to take Chase. 2 reasons. He opted out, but he has great rapport with Joe Burrow. And the other reason is Pitts is a tight end, in-betweener type. He's not going to block very well, but we've got a 6'7" CJ Uzomah and another 6'3", 6'4" Drew Sample, who played a pretty damn good year. So to use another pick on a third tight end / maybe running back, he's not going to block that well for you. I would take Chase just because of the rapport with Burrow and give him a real extra weapon if we've taken care of both lines, pass rushing, offensive line, or get one pass rusher in free agency and then get some more in the 4th, 5th round. You can find some diamonds in the rough there too. That's where I'm at.
Well, here's where I disagree with you, and we're splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
To me, the difference between getting a Kyle Pitts, and he is a better blocker than what you think, but the difference between getting Kyle Pitts,
big for a tight end, though. That's the thing that scares me.
Well, hang on. You're not going to play him with tight end all the time.
Right.
I would move him around. But the difference to me between him and Chase is every team in the NFL practically has a guy that can beat you deep, has a guy that's a threat that you got a game plan for. But how many of them have a guy that you can move all over the place and is a tight end who can get deep? Here again, I'm going with the KC model.
Right.
And I think he fits that. Then again, we don't have a Tyreek Hill. We've got basically 2 possession receivers. So you could actually go either way on that. You could have Chase as your Tyreek Hill and or Pitts as your Travis Kelce. Right, but either way, you're not missing. You're still coming away from the draft in good shape.
Yeah, Jet fan says I would pick Pitts because you already have T. Higgins, and Pitts is a nightmare matchup. You can use him at wide receiver, tight end. Look at Mahomes, like you just said, Kelce, Brady, Gronk. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys are not always changing my mind, but it is an interesting debate to have because I was with Jeremy. I mean, with Jamar Chase has already been with Burrow, and he's been there is no warming up to get to know each other. They already know it, But Uzomah, I love Uzomah, and I think we're gonna be fine with him. But he is coming off an Achilles heel tear, so I do think either way we go, they do need to address that to have somebody else there. So I mean, if they draft Pitts over Chase, I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be more upset if they don't fix the offensive line. If they fix that offensive line, defense line, I don't give a crap. They can draft Chase or Pitts. I'll be fine with either one, to be honest. But
this is okay. If we're going to talk about Pitts and Chase, we're not going to have a combine. So I want to see Pitt's speed versus Chase's speed because we both know they're great players. We both know they're great route runners. And I would like to see what the weight difference is, and I would like to see him blocking. They'll have all kinds of stuff to do at their pro days. And if Pitts can block like a tight end, and he's got the speed that's within 0.2, 0.4 seconds of Chase, hey, you can call me a Pitts guy. But if Chase is blowing the guy out of the water running, and we already know that he can run great routes, and Pitts with his in-betweener is way a good bit behind him and in weight as well, like I was saying, to block, I'm not going to be so much of a Pitts guy. That's why I wish we were having a freaking combine this year.
Yes,
exactly. But here again, like I said, either way, if they're both there at our pick, it's not like we're going to whiff. Either way,
like I said, that's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, if they're both there,
if the line pick,
it's a win-win. You pick Chase, you pick Pitts. They're both going to be great players, I think. So, I just And to be honest, if it comes down to those two, I think the Bengals are going to pick Chase because Joe Burrow. I mean, I think Joe Burrow's going to say Chase. Nothing against Pitts or anything, but Burrow's already played with him. He's already got the connection. So that's where I think they would go that direction. But either way, as far as the tight ends go, I do think they do need to address it. They do need to get, and you can get a guy in the third or fourth round, to get somebody in there as another option, but a guy who can block and pass, and catch. You need him to be able to do both. I mean, Sample got better at blocking. I will give him credit because he couldn't block for crap his first couple of years. And Uzama was the blocking guy.
But here's the problem with both of those guys. They can't stay on the field. We really don't know what we got because they both have had injury problems.
That's true.
You really don't know what you have.
I'd say 5th round, there's going to be a tight end that has been left behind, maybe 4th, but 5th round going to be left behind that a lot of the analysis dudes are high on that we could bring in a little bit of competition. But the fact of the matter is if we're having this conversation in June, we did really well because we know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
We're going to know what's happening.
I hope we do.
Because we're going to have our offensive line fixed. We're going to have pass rushers.
Well, here's another thing is with all the money we got with free agency, there's some veterans. If you wanted to bring in a veteran for depth, I think Jimmy Graham's contract's up.
There you go.
Guys. There's a couple of guys that you could bring in. Zach Ertz.
That's the thing. There is so many veteran players out there that are available that we can get them, and I don't think it's going to cost us a ton to get them. And we got the money. Like we got almost $40 million under the cap, and that's not even counting get rid of Geno Atkins. So we're going to have the money. And somebody posted on here in the live chat, well, we got to get Mike Brown to spend money. And I'm getting so sick and tired of that comment. He spent money last year. People, yes, he's spending money. Let's move on from that.
Like I said last week, we got to get him to spend it wisely.
Yes.
He spends it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, last year, if Turner hadn't said we're cool with the offensive line, I think they would have went out and got another offensive lineman. I mean, I'm fine with what they did, except for they didn't protect the offense or fix the offensive line. Everything else they did in the offseason last year is great.
100%. I agree 100% with that. But we all know that priority should have been the offensive line.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When you think that you've addressed the shittiest, pardon my French, offensive line in football by signing a guy who had started 12 games in his NFL career at guard when you need a tackle, there's something wrong.
That's exactly right. I mean, it is what it is. And to bring back Bobby Hart and Redmond, after the year they had the year before,
I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Exactly. To do that. And I don't care what Jim Turner said. I don't care how much he thinks he knows about football. I still today put that on Zach Taylor. I don't put that on Mike Brown. Mike Brown hired a coach to lead a team. And to lead a team, you are in charge of all the positions. You put it
on Zach and you put it on Duke. I'm more putting it on.
I'm putting it on Zach Taylor. It's his team.
Duke's the quote unquote GM. I mean, who's got the final say so?
Yeah, see,
if it's my team, I'm going to make sure I have the final say so
because it's your head as well.
Exactly.
Right. Be smart enough to know it's my head that's on a chopping block.
Either way, they all screwed up. You can blame all of them. It was asinine to not address the offensive line. It was the dumbest thing ever. Like I said, if you guys go back and watch my videos,
I'm
just a guy with a YouTube channel, and if I know they should fix the offensive line, I'm sure they should know it. Or I was hoping I'd be wrong, but I wasn't.
I called the freaking injury for crying out loud. You know how bad I feel? I mean,
you did.
These guys are making me look like a Browns fan.
Yeah, but
the Browns fan crap again. I'll kill I'll find you.
But Jeremy, you calling the injury, that's like watching a drunk guy get into a car and say he's probably going to wreck.
We're getting a wreck. Yeah.
There you go. All right, Josh says Pitts is underweight, but 6'5", 240. He can get up to 15, no problem. He's got the frame. I wouldn't say tweener. 6'5", 240. You get add up there 15. That's pretty good size.
You know, it is, but we've also, you know, got a 6'7", 259 or whatever, and Sample is also a big boy. He's like 6'2", 240, something like that. It kind of is a tweener. Let me tell you why it's a tweener. Because they called him that over and over again every Florida game I watched.
Yep.
Okay. And he was playing wide receiver. He was playing in goal line situations. When you're putting an extra tight end in there to knock that ball in the end zone, Pitts was not the guy on the end of the line. He was the guy standing out there in the slot or standing to catch the ball. So a tight end to me is a bruiser, somebody that can block, and then when need be, he can run a route, catch passes. But I love Pitts. Don't get me wrong. I love Pitts. My dad actually loves Pitts. He's Jamar Chase a little more, but he loves Kyle Pitts. And I'm not hating on Kyle Pitts whatsoever. Right. If we take him, I will not be upset. As long as the offensive line is taken care of and we've got somebody that can get to the damn pass rusher and take him down, not let him loop-de-loop and run around to find an open receiver.
I got to comment on this Jets fan because I think he's too busy in the chat trying to piss everybody off. He's not paying attention to what we're actually saying. He said you can't have all the weapons you want, but if you don't have time to throw the ball, what's the point? Dude, that's what we've been saying this whole show.
The Jets know that.
Yes. So
better than anybody.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So we've been saying that, or sister, whoever you are. But I mean, we got a live link. You can come on the show and talk, just like Keith is if you want to. So
absolutely.
Anyway, go ahead, Keith. Sorry.
Well, here's the other thing. And this is a little bit deeper than we normally talk about, but if you notice the teams that get a good pass rush and are successful, they get it with their front four. That's one thing I don't like about the Bengals. They seem to think you get a Carl Lawson, the Gaither kid, and this is nothing against those players because they're good players. I think they're going to develop into better players, Davis Gaither especially. But where you want to get your pass rush is at front four.
Yes, well, that's what the Buccaneers did. The whole season, 4 guys. That's all they did. They never blitzed one time.
Well,
right, good.
And real quick, just look at the Bengals when we were winning. Dunlap, Geno Atkins, Damata Pecco, Michael Johnson when he was in his.
Yep.
Right. We won.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. The thing is, we never saw a full season of DJ Reader. So that's the other thing everybody's got to remember. We're going to get him back, and he will put pressure on that quarterback. As much as Geno did, I don't know because, like I said, we didn't see him all year. He is a good player. If you get Lawson and you get Hubbard, you get one more guy, I think, to rotate in there. I think you're going to be that's your 4.
But see, DJ Reader was brought in as a 3-4 guy. He was the middle run stuffer type guy. Yep. So he's not going to exactly be that quarterback attack. That's where your linebackers come in. From the 3-4 defense, and we never played it. So we really haven't got to see how well DJ Reader can play, stopping the run and allowing our linebackers, certain ones, to blitz this guy here, this guy, every now and again, mix it up like a 3-4 defense, or a 3-4 defense. I mean, that's what he came here to do, and we never got to see it happen.
Well,
I agree with the Jets fan. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. If you were talking trash, my fault. Just go ahead. Sorry.
One thing that nobody talks about, I was surprised at Mike Daniels. Mike Daniels, when he was healthy, played well.
Yeah.
And I don't know where he's at contract-wise. I'd bring him back.
Oh, he wants to come back. I know that because I heard him on Shine on Sports talking about how excited he was about Joe Burrow and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think we signed
him. I think we signed him 2 years, but I'm not sure. And I agree with Nick here. Reader's certainly not the pass rusher that Geno is, but I mean, Geno was an elite. There wasn't too many guys in football that were as good as Geno. But the thing is, if he can,
that was my point, though. He's not built for that. He's built.
But if he takes on 2 guys, and that opens it up for somebody else, that's kind of my point. I think he's going to be there to do enough to put pressure on there to create double teams, and then that's when guys can shoot with the 3 forward work like it's supposed to.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, even if he doesn't have to get to the quarterback, if he like you said, if he can occupy 2 guys and get push up the middle, that's where you get your sacks. How many times you see guys come off the edge and miss, and the quarterback steps up, throws it 30 yards downfield? Right. If you're getting pressure from the middle, there's no place for him to step up.
And the thing is, too, you got him, and if they sign Mike Daniels, I'm pretty sure Mike Daniels is a 2-year guy. Well, this is one that killed me this year. I could not wait to see Geno, Reader, and Daniels. I wanted to see that rotation. I thought that was going to be a key to our defense, and we did not see it one single game. None. No game at all. No, all 3 of them didn't play together at any time, at any point last year. And that really hurt the defense, I think.
Yep. And I will tell you this really quick. It may have been a blessing in disguise, because if we are going to play a 3-4 defense, we've got to have Reader in the middle, Mike Daniels beside him, another big boy beside him, whoever it may be. And that's where Josh Bynes, who came from a 3-4 defense in Baltimore and who was a bad man, and the rest of our linebackers that we took in last year's draft to play 3-4, to send them guys on blitzes, and it's not just 4 men rushing, 4 men rushing, 4 men rushing. And the guy sits around all day long looking for an open guy in the zone.
I mean, people think I'm crazy when I say that the Bengals are going to win Super Bowl next year, which I say, and I'm saying it in jest, but I say it every year. But I really do, in my heart, believe that the Bengals are going to be a contending playoff team next year. I mean, it's just like Marvin says here. Fixing this team is well within. Yeah, I'm going to go do that this week. Well, if the snow stops, I can make it to Indiana, I'll do it. But fixing the team is well within reach. There's lots of opportunity to grow if we use free agency on the O-line and draft wide receiver, DN, linebacker, all eyes on the coaching staff. Exactly. And we could fix all the problems with the team on the players. We could fix it so it's good enough to be a contender. Then, like you said, it's all on the coaching staff then. And that's where me and Jeremy have said a lot of times, in our mind, if Zach doesn't make the playoffs next year, he's gone. I mean, I don't see – and if Joe Burrow is healthy all year and you fix that offensive line, you fix the defensive line, there's no reason that we shouldn't make the playoffs.
No. Well, here's the thing, and this goes back to what we've been talking about. That's why it's so important to get Burrow another weapon. You got to fix the offensive line. Do that through free agency. Right. But get Burrow a weapon. Get at least one more guy on defense that's a difference maker, because from what we saw this year for Burrow, he's going to keep you in that game.
Oh, yeah.
And our record is totally different, a play here or a play there. And I think basically if you fix the O-line, you get a difference maker on offense, difference maker on defense, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many games that when Joe Burrow was in there, like you said, play here, play there, we win the damn game. So many. It was frustrating. Oh my God. Me and Jeremy come on here every Monday. It would be, if it's not this, then it's this. It's like,
and Nick who just quoted the base 3-4 is fine. Yeah. But let's be real, 85% of the game, teams run nickel, and that's what the Bengals have done, except it's probably 95%.
Right.
They're not. They brought in all these players for a certain defense, and that's why our defense looked great one week. They would get a team figure out it, and they look horrible the next. We've got to stick with one thing, because if we don't, we're just – and that's why, again, I said I put it on coaching. You can blame it on scouts, whatever. But, man, if I'm Zach Taylor and I'm on the chopping block, I want to know who my linemen are. I want to watch them. I want to make sure they're good. I want to make sure our linebackers are who we need them to be. Our defensive guys, even to our running back, Joe Mixon. We already know he's good. I want to make sure he's given 110%, because as a coach, I know that next year I may not be here and I may never get a chance to do this again.
All right. Gamer says you're going to need 10 plus wins to make the playoffs.
In the AFC?
I don't know, because the Steelers, I think the Steelers are going to be down. The Browns, you don't know. I mean, Browns could be, they were good, but they weren't like awesome, you know. And then the Ratbirds, I honestly think people are starting to figure them out, to be honest. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's
Jeff, you know my
to say that.
AFC North was garbage this year.
Yeah.
Those three teams had the three easiest schedules in the league. They should have, and if you watch Pittsburgh play, if their games had been called on the level, they're 8-8.
No.
Well, that's what pissed me and Jeremy off so bad, is we had an easy schedule and we lost so many damn close games. It's like,
we played the NFC least, for crying out loud, and their team went 7-9 and went, you know, the Eagles, and went to the damn playoffs, for crying out loud, or whatever. Give me a break.
On top of that, you look at who those teams played, and I think the Bengals did too, outside of their division. You had the Jaguars. You had the Texans. You know, I figured it out one day. If you were decent, you had 9 wins.
Yeah. I mean, even the year we went to the 5 straight playoffs, it wasn't 10 wins every year. I think we were 9-7 one year, I think, and I mean it was a tough division to win. So this year, I mean, I honestly think. I think people, like I said, I think people are figuring the Ravens out. And I think the Bengals have got a shot to make this thing. And I don't necessarily think you're going to need 10 wins to win it.
I hope not, because we were 10-6. What was it? 15, 16, whatever. 15. And, you know, what we get? A wild card? At 10-6?
No, 10-6. 15.
Oh, no. We had one home game. That's right.
Yeah. We won the division. And that's how we had the crazy ending to the Steelers game.
Yeah, that's right. But you know, a lot of times,
but when we played the Chargers, that was a wild card. Then we played, I think, the 2 years we played the Texans. One of those was a wild card.
Yeah,
we only won the division once.
Yeah, and we were 10-6 just about every one of those, winning the wild card a lot of times in our division. Hopefully, it goes different soon, because there's no more Flacco. We got Lamar Jackson, but I think Lamar Jackson is just about figured out. I think Big Ben is just about done. Now they're going to have to restart completely at quarterback. And the Browns, Cocker, Baker, Mayfield, he can.
Yeah, that's right.
He
says Browns have $30 million to roll over in the cap space. They will bring in more great players. That's awesome. But they still have Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. I'm still not sold on him.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
and we got $40 million.
That's the thing. If you look at the quarterback situation in the AFC North, who's got the best quarterback?
Right here.
Future wise. Yeah, I think it's Joe Burrow. And everybody, well, you know, Lamar Jackson won the MVP. Lamar Jackson, those running quarterbacks only last for a couple years, and they either figure them out or they get injured. I mean,
they can't throw.
Or they can't. Or look at Cam Newton. Look at RG3. Look at all the guys. I mean, it's nothing to do with the color of their skin or anything. I mean, it's just a fact. They don't last that long. I mean, Michael Vick would have been an exception because he could throw the ball. You know, he could throw it on a freaking line.
Yeah.
But he still wasn't that accurate either. That's Cam Newton. He can throw it, but he's not accurate.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, the most important position in football, we got the best player in our division, I think.
I do too. And I'm stoked about
it. Jackson is the formula is real easy. Take away his tight end, keep him in the pocket. If you take away his tight end, keep him in the pocket, you will beat the Ravens.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what the Titans did last year in the playoffs.
First playoff game showed you exactly what to do against Baltimore, and the Bengals better have that tape playing over and over and over again come training camp.
that's where the Bengals got to have the players to be able, like Keith said, to cover the tight end.
Exactly.
That's our problem. We don't have that.
Well, I think our linebackers do. I just think they were all rookies. Like, it's tough.
True.
It's tough.
Well, it goes back to pass rush too.
Yep. There you go.
It doesn't matter how good you cover him. If you got to cover him for 5 seconds, you're not going to cover him.
Yep. And real quick, guys, is not Von Miller? Is he still out there? I heard a rumor the other day about Von Miller and how he was in touch with somebody from Cincinnati. Yeah.
Well, he got in trouble for something.
Oh,
he had a DUI or something. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I heard he might be getting released, and the Bengals were brought up. I didn't know if anybody knew that if he had been released or if he was out of his contract, a free agent. I didn't know. I was just asking you guys, but hey, maybe something there. You never know.
Yeah. Jets fan says, we don't know if Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the division. It's way too early to tell how good he is. Well, he had three 300-yard games, one 400-yard game on a crappy offensive line. Basically, all the guy could do, was take a 3-step drop and get rid of the ball. And he did all that with this crappy offensive line. Dude, we know. We know he's good.
You know what tells you more about Joe Burrow than anything else? That he got hit the number of times that he did, and he made it as far through the season as he did.
Yep.
Well, and the thing is, and he's still looking downfield. If you watch when he got hit, he's still looking downfield, and that's what happened to not Derek Carr, but his brother. He was the Houston Texans
David
quarterback.
Oh,
David Carr. Yeah, he got hit more than anybody, and same thing happened to David Klingler. They started looking at the rush instead of downfield, and once they do that, you can't be a quarterback anymore.
Yep.
What they did to Klingler was criminal.
Well, it was so stupid to draft a run and shoot quarterback and try to make him a drop back pass or something he hadn't done. I mean, that's as dumb as taking if they took Lamar Jackson and tried to make him a drop back quarterback. And instead, Baltimore was smart and they changed their whole offense and did it around what he's good at. That's what NFL teams do more now than they used to do. They used to be like, all right, well, we do it this way. Well, what if your quarterback isn't good at doing that? You drafted him. You should know what he's good at doing.
And you took him one. You took him one.
Well,
it's your franchise guy.
We took him one, and we still had Boomer Esiason. Boomer still played another 7 years?
Yeah,
it was stupid.
And you know what? As much as I am down on Zach Taylor, and I still think he's gone after this year if this team doesn't significantly improve, but unlike Bruce Coslett, Dick LeBeau, all these coaches that we've had, I do see there's one thing I do see about Zach Taylor, and that is once we took Burrow, he changed our offense to suit him, which is something that I have not seen a Bengals coach, Dave Shula, we could go on, do in a long time. And if there's anything that's going to help the Bengals this year, if he can be back day one, we get our problems on the line, offense and defense taken care of. I can see us going somewhere this year with Zach Taylor on the record.
Well, you know what impressed me with him the first game was
he came back and won the game.
Well, not just that.
Yeah.
How many rookie quarterbacks do you see that know when to get rid of the ball, when the play's dead, throw it away? That's one of the biggest problems Dalton had. Even when he was a veteran, he held the ball too long.
Mm-hmm.
Burrow, when he got sacked, when he took a hit, it was because the rush was coming too quick for him to do anything.
Right.
And that impressed me that he had the presence of mind to say, okay, you know what? Nothing here. Let's move on to the next play.
Yep. And Dalton would push it and he'd throw a pick. That's why he had
a ton of them, yeah.
A ton of picks. I mean, he would get flustered and get rid of it. And I don't have to explain to him. Y'all saw the picks just like I did.
Burrow's not forced it to Green. Wherever Green was, that's where he was throwing.
And that's another good thing that Burrow doesn't do. He doesn't target one guy. If you're open, he'll throw the ball to you. He doesn't care who it is.
And I don't think Green liked that too much. I think that played into some of what we saw this year.
He might not have. All right. Let's see here. Let me get back to Titus's comment up here. He said, "I'm sorry, but if he don't pan out, make sure we can get Eric Bieniemy next year."
I'm down.
I'm fine with that. But what
Set it for 3 years.
Yeah. What kills me with that is he didn't even really get a look at this year. No, I don't understand why. Yeah, that's just crazy. We got a couple more here now. I think we're gonna roll on out of here. Let's see here, Keith.
Well, by the way, just real quick, I heard Bieniemy was coach and waiting for the Chiefs, and he really wants to stay there. So
maybe
that's something I did hear, just to give him some love and to say nobody wanted him. I already turned down quite a few, but
so Keith, this is not you. This is another Keith. All kinds of rumors going on. Some Cleveland fan told me the Bengals would be looking into linebacker Reuben Foster, free agent from Washington. I thought he had knee issues, but not sure.
Hey,
what do you guys know about that?
That's another 3-4 linebacker out of Alabama, and if he's healthy, I'd love to have Reuben Foster. I watched that kid play. He's a monster.
He's a monster. Now, he had some off the field issues, though.
He did. Mm-hmm.
So, either
way,
Marvin ain't here anymore. So,
yeah. Either way, I'm excited. I can't wait for this stuff to start happening. I want to find out what the Bengals are going to do. I'm hyped up. I'm honestly tired of talking about what they could do. I want to talk about what they're doing,
or what they did do. I can't wait for the show where we all can get together, all hundreds and hundreds of us, and be like, "We did this, we did that, we did that. Now we are going to be good."
Exactly. All right, Keithy. I appreciate you, brother. I think me and Jeremy are rolling out of here, but appreciate you hanging on for as long as you did.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Keith.
Take it easy. New day. All right, Jeremy D.
Yep.
I had some other stuff I was going to say, but I'll save it for tomorrow. We talked so much, and I thought we weren't going to have anything to talk about today. Holy smokes!
Me too, man. We're like a minute and 17 or an hour and 17 seconds. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is awesome. But I appreciate all you guys watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, give me the thumbs up. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell for the notifications. Also want to thank Houday Nation and Ohio State Bucknuts for letting me live stream on there. Appreciate those guys. Josh, who was on the show with us earlier, is the founder of Houday Nation. So I appreciate him letting me be on the show, letting us be on his page. And you guys, I invite you to join my group here. I'm messing with my computer while I'm talking. It's not working out too good. Join my Facebook groups. They are Bengals Brigade, Bearcat Ruckus, Radical Reds, and then the Ice Bar is the one that started to blow up on us. That's the show page that me and Jeremy are on. It's silly TikToks, memes, just having fun. It's a virtual bar is what I call it. We're at the Ice Bar, chilling out, hanging out, talking sports, talking smack, talking whatever you want to talk about. We even talk some wrestling on there for some of our viewers who like wrestling. That's where we talk wrestling if we ever talk that. Because you guys ever want to talk wrestling, we can, but most of the time everyone's talking Bengals football. So you can also follow me on my other social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I will be pulling the sound off of this later on tonight and putting it on the podcast. Make sure you like, rate, and review, and give me a 5-star review. I'm on BeanPod, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. YouTubers, you guys are awesome. We're at 836 subscribers. That is awesome. Hopefully added some more people here while we're watching the show. That'd be great. And other than that, Jeremy D. First of all, do you remember what city we live in? Second of all, are you ready to roll on out of here?
Actually, thank you for ringing that up, Jeff.
You're welcome.
But anyway,
if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you need to go watch the show Friday and see what happened at the end of it.
yeah. See that? See how Jeff got me all screwed up, and Cleveland, Cincinnati, all this bull crap.
Dude, you're in Alabama. You don't even remember where you're at half the time.
I mean, you don't live in Huntsville. You live in, Tuscaloosa, whatever.
That's like telling me you don't live in Lexington. Oh crap! I'm in Ohio.
But no, in all honesty, definitely want to thank Josh, man, for jumping on. That was awesome. A lot of good points. A lot of
and Keith, he's gone for as long as Josh was.
Yep.
So
About to bring up Keith too. Topics, stuff to talk about. People interested. I love it. Y'all, please don't forget. And I know I have friends that cannot watch us live, and there's quite a few of them. And they watch us on Sports with Strawberry Ice or the Ice Bar, but they don't watch us on YouTube. And if you will please, guys and gals, actually, Leslie, I'm talking to you.
Calling her out. Calling
her out.
Leslie, he's talking to you.
Go to YouTube. Yeah. Sports with Strawberry Ice. Yeah. And just click the like button.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, but it kind of is that big of a deal because we like it and it helps us and it makes things go much better. So everybody that's watching on all these different platforms, the Ice Bar, like Jeff has mentioned, Hootie Nation, whatever, come join.
Let's have some fun.
YouTube, Sports with Strawberry Ice, and like the show.
Yeah, let's have some fun because we're all stuck inside right now because that has nothing to do with COVID. It's a freaking snowstorm. Even Jeremy in Alabama is getting ice. Yeah,
I've looked out my window about 4 times now, and it is coming pretty hard. A lot of ice. Just hope that the electricity stays on. Doesn't matter.
What was that? Was that just hope, or was that just hope? It sounded like
just hope. Oh, hope. And hopefully we will.
How many salt trucks do they have in Alabama? I'm just curious.
That would be 1.
Ooh.
Take away 1.
So none.
So 0. Oh, good. You know your math. Okay, good deal.
1 in a row for Jeff.
That's right. So wherever you're watching from, go to YouTube, Sports with Strawberry Ice. Give us a like.
Stuck on a mountain all weekend.
Subscribe. Yes, I run a mountain, and actually they shut the mountain down when this stuff happens. So good thing I bought all my toilet paper.
Yes, very important. Toilet paper, bread, and milk. Make sure you have all that because all that runs out quickly.
Exactly right. So as always, remember one thing, guys, and one thing only, and that is you don't live in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You live in Cincinnati. So act like it. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Bengals. Let's go Bearcats. Let's go Ohio sports in general, because I know Jeff likes his hockey too.
Yeah, Blue Jackets are playing tonight, baby. 7 o'clock. We got to watch it.
And I'll leave it at that.
And other than that, that's just sports, baby.